Howdy folks, Kevin with Gone Rogue Games. Just thought I'd give one of a quick update video of what's going on here at the store. Apologize for the lack of videos. As I mentioned last time, I've been really sick. In fact, they think I've had pneumonia, so that makes the coughing understandable now. So hopefully I can get through this video without coughing up a lung. So we have Aether Drift coming out, and before we talk about that, I want to share something a distributor shared with me through email. So apparently January of this year, so now that January is ending, they have their sales data in, and they have done more orders and just more volume than they have ever done in a month since they've been doing this. So this is a major distributor that sent this out, and they wanted to apologize for like the chaos and the kind of the long shipping, and it has been a mess. Like, it's been very tough to communicate with distributors because they are just absolutely overwhelmed with the craziness of how hot this market is, both Pokemon and Magic. So I actually don't know which one's more hot. Like, of course, everyone's talking about Pokemon, but if you see, Magic has been slowly creeping up in every area, from card sales to sealed product to older product that was terrible that is now starting to dry up. There are things like play boosters that are recent, like Duskmourn. Duskmourn was gone at distribution level for play boosters and had to get like another wave or another, I don't know if it's a full reprint wave, or at least Wizards of the Coast had to release more to distributors, or distributors had to restock, however that works. I'm still not entirely sure the process distributors take to restocking their inventory of how Wizards handles that. I know there is a major warehouse that Wizards does warehouse some things, but I don't know when it actually triggers like a full-blown reprint. But anyway, we have Aether Drift coming out, which is absolutely nuts. I haven't seen a commander or a collector set sell for as high pre-order. Like, it's like 290s right now, and we're still, what, a week away from a release for the Aether Drift. And so, man, it's gonna be crazy if we're gonna see a collector booster at release sell for, 300, 310. That is kind of the era we're in. And the issue though is, like, my allocations are about 60% of normal. I am not suspecting that collector boosters have been limited. Like, there are a lot of rumors going around right now that Wizards of the Coast is changing their printing policy. They've been scaling back. Like, of course, like, Wizards of the Coast is always delayed when they're so kind of slow. They're so reactive to the market. So it's almost like that they're overcompensating now for the horrible overprinting era of 2023. And it took them a full year. So 2024 was still overprinted as well, but it took them a full year to really scale back. And now we've got this like hot market that actually could handle. Now remember, what caused the 2022-2023 overprinting was actually the lack of supply in 2021 due to a hot market. And it was the same sort of shenanigans that was happening back then. I was getting cut a lot at this distribution level. I was having to use like multiple distributors. During all of 2022 and 2023, I basically just used one distributor. I could get everything I wanted to my heart's content from Pokemon or Magic. And now we're back to having to allocate collector boosters and not getting enough, and disappointed people because I have to, cut people their collector boosters because I'm not getting enough to go around. But anyhow, my allocations are about 60% normal for Aether Drift. And like I said, I don't think that necessarily it's less collector boosters being printed. I just think the demand of how many stores have now popped up, which is another warning sign, because here we're going to go again, because all these people are popping up thinking they're going to make it work without understanding this market and how quickly it can turn. And if you don't have, like, I'm just a huge advocate for having some other revenue stream through like a brick and mortar rather than relying solely online. I think a lot of these online sellers, they always start in these hot markets and they get crushed as soon as there's a cold market. So unfortunately, it affects me too, because then my allocations get cut based upon this crap. But anyway, I'm just a big fan of, like, again, maybe I'll have to get in a podcast or something with some of these online sellers and we can hash it out, because I do believe that there should be a pay to play in this TCG world, because I do believe that for a healthy ecosystem for board games and card games, you should at least be putting the bare minimum effort of having a brick and mortar where people can actually come in and play the game and kind of cultivate the game. Otherwise, I think that sales do start to struggle when less stores are able to operate, and I think that game stores just are free publicity. Basically, they're free advertising for games. And how many people have just walked in, playing or looking for anything else and get like hooked into Magic because people will like, hey, you got to try this game, and I think it's a lot more kind of relevant to the growth of the game or the stabilization of the game than I think a lot of people want to admit. Excuse me. So anyway, so Aether Drift is, like I said, pretty insane. Innistrad collectors are pretty insane. This is what's kind of like really, really ticking me off right now about Distributors, is so I had to like get cut on Innistrad, and now I'm getting like offered Innistrad from Distributors at way higher cost. So these are almost costing me almost like, what, 290s or something to get these stupid collectors. I know they're going for like 330 online, so that's still not the best margins, but I know there's still an appetite for these stupid things, so I've been picking them up. So if you are a patron, I'm going to start posting these, but keep in mind, I had to pay an arm and a leg for these stupid things, so I'm going to have to sell them for a little bit higher price to recoup of what I've been trying to pay. Speaking of dismal reprints, so you want to know the big old 151 reprint that everyone's waiting for that was so massive? This is what I got. In fact, you know what's so pathetic is one distributor sent me a single, where's it at? A single booster bundle. I got a single booster bundle from one of the distributors. And mind you, I don't do a lot of Pokemon with them. I've just recently been, adding them, but it was kind of hilarious that this was like my allocation for the highly anticipated 151 reprint. So again, I got these booster bundles out. They're just gonna have to just go for market price, as there's not enough to allocate around. So again, it's kind of bittersweet with a market where I can actually make money on, but as I stated in the other video, it's like, well, if I can only get 2 cases of booster bundles, I'm like, cool, I can make crazy margins on the 2 cases, but it's like not really enough to pay the bills or make it worthwhile. So it's kind of a catch-22. Zach actually showed me a TikTok video that was going pretty viral of a Pokemon store where a guy was coming in and his customers were demanding things at market price. And so it was like a flashback to the Sword and Shield era when everything was just so dirt cheap. And the guy was like, nah, market price, man, go off market price. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll sell it to market price. And it continues on, and then we finally get to this Prismatic Evolutions. And it's like, hey, you want your Prismatic Evolutions? Pay market price. And the customer freaks out. No, I want MSRP now. I want MSRP now. And it's that's kind of the issue with the dealing local game stores. Had some comments too of like people talking about like stores that charge above MSRP should be ashamed of themselves. And it's like, well, unfortunately, this is MSRP. I do like MSRP. I like it when companies actually put out an MSRP because it gives a baseline. So the problem I'm having with like Magic the Gathering specifically is MSRP was supposed to be a promise from the manufacturer that they would not undercut their strategic partners. So they put out their manufacturer suggested retail price, and a lot of times they would sell direct to consumer. So Pokemon does it. You can go to the Pokemon store and you can buy directly from them, but they sell at their manufactured suggested retail price. And that way, it puts a baseline for customers of what they expect to pay for a product. The problem with like when Amazon and TCG Player and eBay became big is you have like people that are playing these really, really long games, or I still don't understand a lot of these sellers because maybe they're just bad at math, and that's why I think we see a massive turnover of a lot of these online sellers that just come and go. And yes, there have been some big names that have been around for a long time, and they have this like cash flow model where they're just going to basically blow everything out no matter what, and then the products that do actually make them profit are the products that make them profit. And it's not a model that I think is very sustainable because after doing this, the man hours that it takes just for shipping packages for a small operation like mine. I mean, if I were paying an employee to do this, man, that's going to kill your margins right there. So maybe people are better at that sort of aspect of really grinding out how to make it work. But I've ran the numbers so many times, and it's like there's no way. Anyway, where was I going with this whole rant with stuff with online sellers and always talking about this? Anyway, like I said, my mind is pretty discombobulated this time. It's been pretty rough for the past few weeks recovering from this stupid sickness. Been more annoying than anything with the kind of the chest pressure and the cough. So I hate that. I either want to be bedridden where I'm feeling so sick where I just have to stay in bed where I can't do anything, or not sick. I have this this in between thing where it's like I got this annoying cough where I don't want to be around people, and it's a pain in the butt to like walk around and stuff, but I'm still like feeling good enough that I'm like, I should get some work done. Anyway, I'm really ranting here with stuff, but a little bit of other overview. Journey Together, which is a new Pokemon set that's coming out. I've already got numbers from one distributor. It's terrible. Blooming Waters is terrible. And like I said, I think it has more to do with there are so many, like, distributors are trying to open up all these accounts. I don't know, maybe they should put a hiatus on it. I know they want to make money. I know they want to keep people around. But at what point is there going to be just too many cooks? And I think that's the issue right now. What we're having is just so many new accounts that have been opened up with distribution that's been really affecting the allocations for stores, which is kind of making me mad because a lot of these stores have been these distributors have been very, very loyal to for years and years and years. And even though I'm basically a small fish, I still have, like, taken allocations when they wanted me to, and especially in that 2021 era. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. I know everyone's looking out for them, you know, their own best interests, and distributors are no exception at that point. But yeah. Hopefully we can figure out some of our allocation issues. I'm looking at picking up a couple more distributors for Magic now that I think that, you know, things like bundles and collector's editions where we're taking more than our allocation. I'm gonna have to start utilizing some other distributors. The problem with distributors, though, you have to kind of play the distribution game, is what I've explained to other people, and it's like it killed me on Commander Masters and on Baldur's Gate specifically. Those are two sets that I lost a lot of money on. What the distribution game is like distributors claim they don't do this, but they're lazy when they do allocations, and a lot of times they just do a blanket across the board. Like, okay, well, we have enough. We had 10,000 boosters, our collector boosters allocated us from Wizards, and we had 20,000 orders, and so we'll just blanketly allocate across the board 50%. And so it's like, so I learned that was kind of the game. And so during, like, Baldur's Gate, I'd be like, okay, well, it's going to be allocated. How much do you think it's going to be allocated? How many are they going to give me? 25% of my order? 20%? So I'd be like, okay, I need 100, or I need 20, so I'm going to put in for 100 because I'm expect to be, you know, allocated only 20% of my allocations. And it ended up, like, on Baldur's Gate, I got, like, all 100. And it was like that happened over and over, and I just got stuck with a lot of product. But anyway, this market has started to really strip the supply of some of these older product. There's still a lot of, like, really crappy stuff that is still floating around on the MG market that I don't think is ever going to get. I don't like things like, we'll come back here in my mess. Things like these Challenger decks from Pioneer that have just been outclassed now. Like, I don't think they're ever going to move. These Chandra spellbooks are still, like, available at distribution level. And the problem is these products are so horrible now. Like, now they've come out with collector boosters, and they've come out with all these other things that are just so more schnazzy. Like Chandra signature spellbook Chandras, these is so weird because Commander decks, they seem to, even if the card prices end up tanking in these Commander decks, they age well. Things that don't age well, that haven't aged well, are these particular products like the Chandra spellbooks, and a lot of this era product where, you know, Wizards of the Coast just had a lot of stinkers at this point. So everything else, though, is starting to really move up. And as I mentioned in some other videos, I am going to be posting a lot of this overstock that's been building up for years and try to, you know, recoup some capital now that the market is super hot. So I'm glad I held on to it. And as soon as I start feeling better, I'm going to go through it all and get it up and posted. So if you're our patron, be looking for that post for, you know, some of this juicy stuff too. And how I acquire some of this too is, like, a lot of times, like, distributors will just, like, you'll be on a phone order with them and they're like, hey, we got this special on this double masters. Do you want to take it? And I have to, like, right then and there make a decision whether to take it or not. So a lot of this is also how the product got built up. So anyway, this has been a kind of a long, rambly, actually kind of short, rambly video than normal. And as you can see, I'm all over the place. My mind is going crazy. I'm too hyped up on meds for that stupid cough that I think is affecting my loopiness here. So I appreciate everyone for sticking around, and we'll try to get back to the daily grind and routine of the videos for the YouTubes as well as the posts on all the other places that we post. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Kevin with the Rogue. Where are we at here? We are at Gone Rogue Games. That's what channel we're on. So I'd appreciate if you give me a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you want to do to keep this channel going. Thanks for watching.